When I think back on that day, the one sentence that replays in my mind like a broken record is hers. It's nothing, don't worry about it. But those words would stay with me forever. They cut deeper than any sharp truth because behind them lived an entire world of silence, a world I would never fully understand. It started the summer I returned home after my first year of college. I thought I'd come back to my small town in Indiana for an easy summer, familiar places, familiar faces, and my best friend Sarah. She and I had grown up side by side, inseparable since kindergarten. Our houses were just 3 blocks apart, our lives tangled together in ways that didn't need explanation. She was the kind of person who lit up every room without even trying. She had this laugh, loud, unapologetic, the kind that made everyone else laugh too, even if they didn't get the joke. When I came back from school, I thought everything would be the same. Sarah had stayed in town, working part-time at the coffee shop on Main Street while taking some classes at the community college. I expected to step right back into the rhythm we'd always had, but almost immediately, I sensed something was different. She still smiled when she saw me, still hugged me tight, but there was a distance in her eyes. A heaviness she tried to hide with jokes and quick changes of subject. I told myself maybe I was imagining it. Maybe it was just me, trying to adjust after being away. But as the weeks passed, the uneasiness only grew. One evening in late June, we sat on the hood of her old Chevy parked near Miller's Pond. It was our favorite spot, the place we'd always gone to watch the sunset or talk about life when everything else felt too loud. She was quiet that night, quieter than usual. Her gaze stayed fixed on the water, even when I teased her about the time she had fallen in trying to impress a boy in 10th grade. Normally she would have laughed and made a self-deprecating joke, but this time she just forced a half-smile. "Sarah, what's up?" I finally asked. "Nothing," she said quickly. "It's nothing." That was the first time she said it. Just 2 words, but the way her voice caught at the end told me it wasn't true. I wanted to press her, but something in her face stopped me. It was like a wall came down the moment I asked, and I felt like if I pushed too hard, she'd retreat even further. So I let it go. We kept hanging out that summer, but things never quite felt the same. She still joked, still smiled, but always with that same undercurrent of something unspoken. Sometimes she would stare off into space, and when I asked what she was thinking, she'd just shake her head and say, "It's nothing." I told myself it was just a phase, something she'd work through in her own time. After all, she was Sarah, strong, funny, the kind of girl who bounced back from everything. I didn't realize then that sometimes the strongest-looking people are carrying the heaviest weights. By mid-July, I noticed she was canceling plans more often. "Sorry, I'm tired," she'd text. Or, "Work ran late." I believed her at first, but then I started seeing her online late at night, posting little quotes on social media, vague, sad lines about feeling lost or invisible. When I asked her about them, she brushed it off with that same phrase. "It's nothing." One night, she came over to my house. My parents were out of town, so we had the place to ourselves. We ordered pizza, put on an old movie, and sprawled across the couch like we had done 100 times before. But halfway through the film, I noticed her staring blankly at the TV, not even reacting to the funniest parts. "You okay?" I asked. She blinked, then gave a quick smile. "Yeah, just zoned out. It's nothing." That night, after she left, I lay awake replaying her words. For the first time, I let myself admit that maybe it wasn't nothing at all. Toward the end of summer, just before I was due to leave for school again, I asked her to meet me at the diner on Main Street. I wanted to talk, really talk. She showed up wearing her favorite flannel shirt, hair tied back in a messy bun like always. She looked tired, though. Not the kind of tired you fix with a nap, but a deep exhaustion that seeps into your bones. We ordered milkshakes, and I tried to steer the conversation toward her, how she was feeling, what was going on. For a moment, it looked like she might open up. She fiddled with the straw wrapper, glanced around the diner, then back at me. "I just feel stuck sometimes," she admitted softly. "Like everyone else is moving forward and I'm just here." "Sarah, that's not true," I said quickly. "You're amazing. You've got so much going for you." She cut me off with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Really, it's nothing. Don't worry about it." And just like that, she shut down again. I wish I could say I fought harder, that I pushed past her walls. But the truth is, I let it go once more. I told myself I'd have time, that maybe she just needed space. The day I left for college, she came to the bus station to see me off. She hugged me so tight I could feel her heartbeat against mine. You're going to do amazing things, she whispered. Then she pulled back, smiled, and added, Don't forget about me. I laughed. As if I could ever forget you. Those were the last words we ever exchanged in person. 2 weeks later, I got the call. I was sitting in the campus library when my phone buzzed with a message from my mom. Call me when you can. It's about Sarah. My hands shook as I dialed her number. When she answered, her voice broke. Sarah was gone. She had left this world quietly, without warning, leaving behind only questions no one could answer. The room spun as I tried to process it. My mom kept talking, but all I could hear were Sarah's words echoing in my mind. It's nothing. But it was never nothing. It was everything. I went back home for the funeral, the town draped in silence. The diner, the coffee shop, the pond, all the places we'd shared now felt hollow. People whispered about how no one had seen it coming, how she had seemed fine. But I knew better. I had seen the signs. I had heard her words. I had chosen to believe them because the truth was too heavy to face. In the weeks that followed, I replayed every memory, every conversation, searching for the moment I should have said more, done more. I remembered her laugh, her smile, the way she'd light up a room, and the way her eyes would cloud over when she thought no one was looking. Grief doesn't follow a straight line. Some days I felt numb, others I felt angry. Angry at her for not telling me the truth. Angry at myself for not pushing harder. Angry at the world for being so unforgiving. But slowly, I began to understand. Sarah hadn't wanted to burden anyone. She had hidden her pain behind those words. It's nothing, because she thought it would protect us. She thought she could carry it alone. The truth is, I never recovered. Not really. There's an emptiness that comes with losing someone like that, a hollow space that can't be filled. But what I carry now, what I try to hold on to, is the lesson she unknowingly left me with. When someone says it's nothing, sometimes it's everything. And we have to listen, not just to the words, but to the silence between them. Every year, I go back to Miller's Pond. I sit on the hood of her old Chevy, which her parents still keep in their driveway, and I watch the sun dip below the water. I imagine her sitting beside me, laughing like she used to.